Pull up a blanket, grab your favorite mug, and let's talk. Because week 6 of finding your soul's voice has me thinking a lot about what abundance actually looks like. And I have a spoiler alert. It's not a fat bank account or a shiny new car. Although, hey, if those come, great. It's something quieter, more personal. And this week felt like I was peeling back layers of how I think about money and guilt. And that's a big thing for me. And little luxuries and what it means to trust that good things will come. I am Laura Lala Key, soul searcher, and I strive to be what my motto is to be the light. I am working on obtaining and walking on my life purpose. And part of that is me going through this series of a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And this book has changed a lot for me. I've been knowing about it for a very long time, but I decided it was time for me to dive into it. And I'm taking you on this journey of what I am going through in the hopes that you are also following along so that you can walk your purpose in life. And this has been quite the journey. So let's dive into it. So week 6 talks a lot about money and creative flow. And here's the truth. Money is one of the biggest hangups. For the longest time, I shut down my own dreams before they even got out of the gate by telling myself, well, I don't have the money. That phrase is like a door slamming shut. And these days, I'm trying something different. Instead of telling myself what I don't have, I keep a little want list. It's not a budget. It's not even a plan. It's actually permission. It's my permission slip to me. It says, this is what I want, and I'm allowed to want it. That simple act makes me feel like I can really breathe again. And I've actually started changing up my language. So instead of, I don't have the money, I'll say, I'm planning for it. It'll come when it's time. And you know what? That shift actually feels a lot lighter. It keeps the possibility open instead of shutting it down. So do I still worry? Absolutely. But I'm learning that dreaming doesn't cost a dime. And sometimes writing it down is the first step in bringing it closer. Now, with this came a really good memory of mine. I started doing vision boards in my 30s. And my first vision board was big and fancy. I cut all these things out of magazines. I put it on. It was absolutely huge. And I put it on my wall and I had all sorts of things. I had cars. I had houses. I had money. I had microphones. I had all these things on there. And did some of those manifest? Yes, they did. I was very blessed to have a lot of those things on there manifest. And some of the things didn't. But as I sit back and I actually reflect back on that very first vision board that I did, I no longer desired those things. There were many things on that board that I just don't really want. And maybe they didn't manifest as because maybe I forced too much on the board that I thought I was supposed to have. You got to have belief in what you put on your boards. The things that I truly, truly believed in, I obtained. But the things that just aren't important to me now, I think the universe and God, because I am a believer, said, that's not what you want. That is not a part of your life purpose. So let's try this again and shake it up, right? So there's nothing wrong with your wants and your needs and your vision boards to change over time. And now some of the things that I put on there just make me laugh. Now, in this chapter, we also talk about luxury and treating yourself. Now, we've all been taught that to think of luxury as something that's big and flashy. But honestly, the little things are actually the real treasures. For me, it's using my special coffee cup in the morning. The one that just makes me feel happy right before I pour anything in it. And then maybe I'll add a splash of creamer that I love, the extra special kind that's kind of indulgent. And suddenly it feels like I've treated myself to a cafe moment right in my own kitchen. And don't laugh, but popcorn with butter? Yeah, that's a luxury in my book. Not every night, but when I do let myself have it, it feels like a warm hug. Abundance doesn't have to scream with diamonds and designer bags if you don't want it to. Like if that's something that you desire, that's your path. That's not mine. And this whole purpose is for you to follow your path. But for me, sometimes it's just a soft whisper reminding me that joy hides in really small rituals. So I'm asking you, what is your coffee cup? What's that one small thing that makes you feel seen and taken care of? Don't discount it. Those moments really add up and they tell your spirit you're worth the effort because you are. So I want you to think of these 3 things and I want you to write them down. Not necessarily in your main journal, maybe your secondary journal. What are 3 small luxuries that make you feel cared for? 2, do you allow yourself these moments often enough? Why or why not? And 3, how could you add one small joy in your week without guilt? For me, bubbles. I love bubbles, all right? Then we get into guilt and creativity. Now this one, guilt has been a constant companion in my life. I grew up believing I needed to give 24/7. And when I wasn't giving, I felt like I was being selfish. It was like I owed the world every ounce of me. But over the last few years, especially since I've lost my sisters, Azure and Valerie, I've been learning something different. You really can't pour from an empty cup. It's a cliche, I know, but it's also very true. When I give until I have nothing left, I'm not really helping anybody. I'm just running myself into the ground. So these days, when someone asks me to do something, I actually pause. I don't jump up right away with, yes, I can. I ask myself, can I get back with you on that? And then I actually go and talk to myself and say, can I actually do this? Do I actually have time? Can I say yes without hurting my own healing and growth? Because I'm still in very much healing and growth. And sometimes that answer is no. And I'm learning to be okay with that. It's not about being selfish. It's about finally valuing myself enough to say that I matter too. And funny enough, when I protect my energy, the things I do say yes to are much more genuine. So, what are some prompts that you can do to actually tackle guilt in your life? Well, there's 3 of them. Where in your life does guilt show up the most often? 2, how does saying yes when you're depleted affect your creativity or your purpose? Are you giving up something that you should be doing on your life journey to serve others? This is not a selfish thing. And 3, write about one time you said no and actually it gave you peace. Okay? So let's talk about mula ula and counting pennies and clarity. Now, in this book, in Julia's book, she is asking us to keep a journal of every single penny that we spend. And this practice really isn't about pinching pennies or obsessing over every dime. What it's about is about being awake. When you actually look at where your money flows, you start to see the truth of what you value or you don't. Let me give you an example. That specialty coffee I grab without thinking. Sometimes it's worth it because it lights me up. But sometimes when I really look at it, I realize that the same money could go towards something I've been wanting for ages, like new paintbrushes or a new vocal class or a new metronome that actually feeds my creativity. So it's not about guilt tripping yourself. It's about holding yourself accountable and making choices that align with who you want to be and who you really are. And honestly, there's power in that. When you see your money as energy, you start asking, am I spending this in a way that supports me or drains me? That question alone can change the whole game. All right, so how can we put this down in our journal? Well, let's look at 3 prompts toward this. What did you spend money on this week that felt aligned with your spirit? 2, what spending did you do that actually drained you? And 3, if you redirected even a small amount toward your growth, what would you choose? And then there's affirmations. Lala be fighting these affirmations. Affirmations don't come naturally to me. I overthink them. I doubt them. I roll my eyes. But I've discovered something. They work better when I stop trying to force belief. Instead, I need to let myself feel them. So at night, I turn on some soft music, maybe some binary beats. I light some incense, and I actually slow down. I get myself a cup of sleepy time tea in my favorite coffee cup, right? I turn the lights down low, but not so low that I can't see what I'm writing. Then I write my affirmations, 5 times each, like I'm whispering them into the universe. I say them aloud. I imagine them floating out into the world, carried by the wind, already on their way back to me. I still struggle. Ooh, but when I let myself really relax into the ritual, it feels different. And if it ever becomes a chore, if it gets too hard, I just stop because I don't want to force it. I really don't. If it becomes something that's like, I gotta write these affirmations, then I don't do it. It's not about tricking myself into blind belief. It's about softening enough to let the possibility enter into me. So for me, that's abundance, a quiet trust that what I need will arrive when it's meant to. So how about some affirmations about in your journal? Let's do 3. Ready? Which affirmations feel hard for you to believe right now? Write them anyway. 2, what ritual could make affirmation writings feel more sacred to you? I told you what I do, right? That's my routine. And 3, if abundance could whisper to you, what would it say? Now, each week I've been putting together a journal, and that they're only $5 a piece, that will help you along this path. Now, this week, I'm actually going to put all of the journal prompts that we discussed in this broadcast into that journal, and there will be no charge for that. So week 6, no charge for the workbook. It will be free for you. You just have to go to the link and sign up for it, okay? Whew, this one was a big week. It was week 6. I actually spent a little longer than 7 days with it. I think I spent 2 weeks on this one because I really had to get honest with myself. And I also don't feel like this is a regimented thing. You have to go with what you feel. So if a week takes a little longer for you to do, that's perfectly fine. This ain't no contest. This ain't no race. This literally is you learning to walk the purpose that your life should be in. Now, here's a few reminders of the things that you should be doing every day. These things are to keep us grounded, right? You should do your morning pages every day. I call them morning papers. Every day, write 3 full pages of whatever comes to mind. Don't censor it. Don't reread it. Just spill it out and close the journal. And if you don't have anything to say, just write that. I don't have nothing to say, blah, 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 blah. 3 pages, right? Then every day you are to pick 3 affirmations and write each one 5 times. It's about repetition, not perfection. And then also, if you've noticed, like I've been noticing, I've been dreaming more and remembering my dreams. So if you keep a journal by your bed, if you remember your dreams, jot them down. Sometimes they hold little sparks of insight that sneak past us in the daylight. Now, next week, we are going to hit week 7. But this week reminded me of the abundance and how it isn't always about more, not obtaining more. Sometimes it's about noticing what you already have, from my little cup of coffee to the language I use around money. I'm learning that small shifts, because that's about all I can do right now, is very small shifts can open big doors. Now, let's talk about week 7. Just a little preview. Next week, we're going to step into week 7. And I'll be honest with you, it brings a lot of struggles for me. I wasn't ready for them. If you remember from the first, I am ahead of you. And I did that on purpose so that I can reflect back, so that I can share my journey with you, so that you can share with me as well. So I've been through week 7. I wasn't ready for it. And that's why exactly I'll be sharing that with you, because this isn't about getting it all right. It's about walking through it together. Cocoa mugs, coffee mugs in hand, pajamas, maybe onesies with feet. I don't know. That makes me happy. But 7 and 8, woo, baby, really tough for me. So I hope that you found week 6 valuable. I hope that you're reflecting and doing the homework. Please know that this week's workbook will be free and it is referenced in the description. Also, you can join our Facebook group. You also can buy Julia's book. Everything is linked below for you. But most of all, I want you to share your journey with me. Comment below. Reach out to me. If you don't want to put something in the public, just direct message me. I'm free. I'm free with that. I just want you to know that we are here. We are here for a purpose. And many of us have gotten off of that path for whatever reason. I know I have. And so I wanted to share that with you just in case you have too. Because we must be the light for one another. I truly believe that in my heart. You know, when you make it, you get to the part that feels good, you turn around and you help someone else and you be that lighthouse for someone else who's struggling. And then that person will turn around and do the same for others. The more we shine, the quicker we dispel darkness. I am Laura Lala Key, vocalist and soul searcher. I wish you nothing but love and light and blessings, so many blessings. You can't hold them all. Go be a good human. You never know when a smile is going to save somebody's life. Sugar. Bye.